Good morning, everybody. Welcome at the event, 11th event of A4EUS project. We are, as you know, this is a very full week for A4EUS project, seeing that we have already organized another event in Serbia. Today we are now in Spain, always virtually. And just let me briefly introduce the today agenda. Let me share the screen. Wait a second. I make the roll. Okay. We know that we'll have more speakers than the scheduled, so this is very good, so we can reach our debate. This is the today agenda. Okay, now you should see the screen. So the event agenda, you can see, is foster inclusion from the perspective of the Spain country. I would like just say a few words without present again the project, since that we have already presented 2 days ago, so some information could be overlapped with my latest presentation. We opened the Serbian event expressing the A4EUS project solidarity towards the Palestinians, Palestinian people, and the crisis that went out there. And I would like today highlight about the tragedy that Spain is suffering in Ceuta Melilla, sorry for the pronunciation, that a tragedy in the Mediterranean that Italy currently face in the Sicily Channel. So I express the solidarity of the project towards this new, unfortunately, tragedy. Just briefly present the agenda before to give the floor to the moderators. As you can see, we have I really thank the Spanish partner to get ready so distinguished speakers and various stakeholders in the field. I conclude my really short presentation to stay in the scheduled time of the project. As you can see, we have already organized 10 events, always related on the peculiarity and characteristic of each territory involved. We already planned for the next week another event in Albania, Skodra, and then other 2 events are in the pipeline for June, when the project is expected to end. You can see, you know, because maybe you have already seen our event, all the documentation, all the presentation, all the contents elaborated during the events are updated on the website and also the video channel. Because what we think is that this project try to enhance the another perspective toward the immigration, toward the refugees, trying to how you like to say, to give the floor to the real person that lived and worked in this field, and then they have something to say to us. They have telling us what are the real situation without any political mystification. And this is, I think, is the most add value of this project, giving the word to the people, to the citizens that work in the field, that are committed in the field. So I see that we arrived at 30 participants, so we are happy as expected. And I stop my presentation. I give now the floor to Julia. It is our today moderator, that I want to really again thank you for the organization of the event, and from the hosting organization Pasos Solidarios. That is the second event that you organized, because the first one was really interesting and very appreciated from all the participants. So thank you for the first event. Thank you very much indeed for this event. The time we will be always in a high level. Thank you, Julia.
Thank you very much, Daniel. Thank you to you for letting us be part of this great project. As you said, I work at Pasos Solidarios. Our mission is to inspire, equip, and mobilize people for a better and fairer world. And as you said, in the first session, we had the chance to set the context and talk about the migration here in Spain. We could hear about the laws, the resources, the challenges they are facing, the situation when a migrant arrives to Spain. And in this second webinar, what we want is to focus more in understanding how this multiculturality and inclusion is handled in our community. As you say, there is a huge crisis right now, and there are many crises all the time. Migration is there, and what is super important is to manage it in a very inclusive way. That's why we have here 5 fabulous women that will explain 5 super diverse projects that you will love for sure. So I will give the floor to the first of them, is Hara Henar, who was not in the agenda that you put. She will have to leave a little before, so if you have any questions, just please put them in the chat before. For the rest of the panelists, if you want, you can put comments, reflections, whatever you want in the chat, and also questions. But if you want a specific question for Hara, please put it before. So Hara is from Alianza por la Solidaridad, and she will explain a project that is running to tackle rumors related to bad narrative related to migration. So Hara, I'm very curious about your project. The floor is yours.
Well, good morning to all. Thank you for having invited us. I'm going to talk about some initiative we are sustaining related with anti-rumors strategies. No? So what is this? Maybe you have already heard about it, because it's not a project that we own. It's part of a process which is bigger than us, and we are only taking part of it. No, but the idea is when you hear something which you clearly know that it's a fake news, or it's a false rumor, or it's directly racism or discrimination. Often when you read a news or when you hear something, you say, I know that this is not true, but what can I do about it? No? So the idea is to empower ourselves, no, to take action. And the idea with this process is challenge stereotypes, prejudice, and false rumors, and foster also critical thinking. But the idea is also that it's something that we don't do by ourselves. We do in network, because Alianza is an NGO, so we are mainly white organization, as we say, no, and we know that what we can do is to sustain the agendas of people who is being attacked by our racism, in terms of institutional racism, or social racism, or legal racism. And we accompany their agendas. We do many activities, but one of them is this anti-rumors actions. And what we do is mainly training. So what is, I mean, the training, of the content of the training can vary and can be more theoretical, like how fake news is created, and to understand the process of how this happened, but also what you can do, no, in front of a fake news or a fake situation. No? For instance, when you go to the supermarket and you hear something, how to empower yourself to say, okay, I know this is not true, no, and I can say something about it, no. And the idea is to do it, as I was saying, in networking, and not only dismantling rumors, but also build positive narratives that support the destigmatization of individuals and groups, and also strengthen social cohesion and understanding. But because what we have observed also is that violence keep you, or what violence wants is to keep you alone, no, and feel, or that you feel alone and that you don't have the power to counteract this violence, no. So this is also why it's important to strengthen, no, the cohesion. So what we have done is this training in different territories in Spain with a groups of mainly migrant women organization we work with, but directed to I don't know, everybody who wants to learn more about it and how to fight those rumors. And also we have sustained the creation of a network which is called the Anti-Rumors Network of the Madrid region. And we have integrated other networks that exist already in other territories. As I was saying, this is not something that we created. It already existed before us, but we observed that was a very interesting initiative. So we decided to join those initiatives that already existed or participate in creating those initiatives where they were not existing before. And we've also made very concrete examples, an open contest to create materials who defy those stereotypes. So I can give you here some video who was made by some of the winners of the contest, and who challenge also some prejudices, like for instance, in Spain, no, sometimes you can hear that being a domestic worker is super good because you have a free house and it's a very good ensemble of rights, and this is not true, because they live in a very hard level of labor exploitation, no? So how to challenge those stereotypes and fake news that exist. So yeah, I think that it's mainly all. I wanted only to give an overview because it's a very easy process, no, in terms that it's not something complex. It's something that you can start from yourself and do it together with others. You can integrate networks that already exist on that, because there are many. It's a global initiative where private and public stakeholders take part, and we remain at your disposal to give more information. So it was only this, and thank you very much again for having invited us.
Thank you very much, Jara. I think it's super interesting project, super impactful. And as you said, this is also an opportunity, maybe, for example, for corporates. There are probably many corporates in this session. So I think it's an opportunity to really do something useful in this looking for inclusion in our community. So thank you, Jara, for being here and for sharing with us. Now I'm going to give the floor to Carmen from CEPAIN. She will explain a project that supports migrant families looking for a new life to find a job and houses in the populated rural areas looking for habitats. Very innovative project. Thank you, Carmen. The floor is yours.
Thank you. I will try to start the presentation. Can I? Okay.
Now you should be able to.
Yes, thank you. I don't know if you can see. Can you see?
Not yet.
No?
No. Try again, don't worry. Try again with share content.
Okay. Wait. Sorry. Okay.
Okay, now you're starting to
Yes?
share. Yes, we see.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. Thank you for the invitation and introduction. I'm very happy to be here. A bit nervous, but I'm happy. So, well, I'm going to talk about a project that is holding my organization. It's called Nuevos Senderos. In English, we can translate it to New Paths. So, this project started because the CEPAIN wanted to respond to the wishes of some of migrant people or asylum seekers who were already participating in the projects of the CEPAIN, and so their preference to live in rural areas in developing their life projects. They might prefer moving to villages because maybe they come from rural areas, or they consider they might have better quality of life, more capacity to save because jobs can be more lasting and the money for the rent is much less than in the cities. Also, it usually happens with families with children, as they consider that children will be better growing up in a village. After the first step of new paths, the other dimension of the project was discovered, the revitalization and loss of rural population. In this way, we discovered it was essential to work with the two parts. On the one side, work with the people and the families' newcomers, and on the other, the needs and desires of those territories. The organization found all the potential that rural territories had, their natural and artistic heritage, the role they must play in defending the environment, the qualities of their citizens, and the possibilities they hold to develop a pleasant life and dignified life, based on a personal choice. We look for the mutual benefit, promoting the basis to start a new life by having access to housing, work, and decent living conditions. And on the other, the development of the territory and the protection of its basic services. We believe that this will contribute to social cohesion and to work from the principle of interculturality. The project promoted at the same time the modification of the image of migration as it was put as a driving force for change. For this project, it is essential the willingness of both parts to express the express motivation of residing in rural areas of the interested people and the commitment to promote inclusion by the host municipalities. So this is the context that we work in, and we work in 8 regions of Spain and a big part of what is called the emptied Spain. The main activities that we hold is in the first phase, working with the municipalities, creating a network for collaboration between local agents and looking for opportunities for employment, housing, and inclusion with the involvement of the community. One fact to mention is that job offers in rural areas are mostly about agriculture, farming, care, or factories. There are not many qualified jobs. Plus, it is very difficult to homologate the qualification, and it usually takes a long time. The possibility of self-employment is considered in the project, but it is very low. There is a strong limitation due to the lack of financial aid and bureaucratic complexity. The issue about the quality of job in rural areas, it is an issue that affects all the population, and one of the factors needed to improve to make better the conditions for these regions. We also work with the migrant family, the people who express their interest in moving to the rural areas. In this phase, we make trainings to improve employability, and there is always a training in rural knowledge to provide complete and detailed information on the conditions and services on the area. With this, we aim to promote the reflection on the motivations for living in rural areas, giving a practical knowledge of what it really means to live in a village, breaking with the images and stereotypes, and exploring the possible barriers that will be encountered. This training is essential since to be able to choose, you have to be fully aware about the decision that you are going to make. Nuevos senderos stand from the basis that the people decide to go living in rural areas. They are not forced because the system says so. This happens because generally the people we work with are not in the asylum or in the reception programs, but are migrants with residence and work permits. In case they are applying for the international protection, they could participate in the project in the last stage of the program. They are given all the options, and it is choice of the participants. Also, the third phase is consisting in working with municipalities and the newcomers once the job and the housing offer has been settled. This part has a previous visit so that the person or the family can see the house, the municipality, and can meet the employer, the mayor, and other key agents of the village, always in company with the project manager of New Paths. After the visit, there is a reflection period where the visit will be evaluated. The reflection period is agreed between the parts involved, establishing a deadline for the final response. If the final answer is affirmative, the PAIM supports the transfer logistically and bureaucratically. And the last phase consists on an accompaniment and monitoring of the inclusion process. The duration and intensity varies and depends on each family or person. In this phase, support is offered for the access to resources of the place, and is also for testing the degree of satisfaction. The objective is to see the emplacement of the families as well as the community to incorporate new citizens. During the beginning of this phase, encountering places are promoted, which allow relations with the neighborhood and the participation of newcomers. Activities are carried out, such as intercultural meals, awareness days, sharing good practices. Sometimes migrants from other villages and majors have been invited to speak about their own experiences. They also tend to take advantage of special days to hold cultural events, promoting interaction and creation of links. So what we learn about this project is that the work previous moving is essential, offering accurate information and of course having decent housing and employment offers. Also, the accompaniment after moving cannot be forgotten, especially in the first moment of the transfer, because starting a new life is always difficult, and in this certain context even more. And it's vital the work for of the both parts. This project cannot be conceived without working with the host society. Normally, when thinking about inclusion projects, we usually look only at migrant people, and the reality is that the host societies need to look at ourselves and work to make the inclusion succeed. In this case, the localities want to attract new people and they make an effort to become host societies, so the people is open and happy to welcome new inhabitants. Well, the need to unite the rural with the urban world, breaking the mutual stereotypes, because the two realities need each other. And factors required for this to happen is the diversification of funding to have some sustainability of the project, the establishment of collaboration networks between public administration and social agents, social workers, local associations, and cultural associations. Networking is essential to find opportunities and provide comprehensive support. The regular administrative situation, since in international protection cases that we have, that ending with a denial of the application, the employment contract is ended and they are put in a extreme situation, and also it represents a loss for the entire population. It is true that this is leaving many people behind, so what we need is a change of policies which facilitate the access to have papers and permits to legally be able to work. It is also important to success that the families or the people who move are not in a situation of extreme vulnerability. If there is a need for specific services, they will not be available in the villages, and we need to look at the difficulty of the transportation in these areas. Well, the knowledge and the language and the knowledge of the language and the driving lessons are not essentials, but they are important success factors due to their autonomy and the independence they allow. Transportation is really difficult, and the car can be needed for many essential things, such as buying groceries. And before finishing, I wanted to talk about another project that my organization is working, and it's called Welcoming Spaces, and it is a research program on the role of migrant people in revitalizing the populating and economically declining regions in 5 European countries: Italy, Spain, Poland, Germany, and the Netherlands. Welcoming Spaces want to identify projects and initiatives which drive the inclusion of migrant people and families in sinking regions, while contributing at the same time with the revitalization of the area. The project aims to put in contact the different initiatives and stakeholders to create spaces of collaboration and exchanges of good practices, so we can learn from them and replicate them. Moreover, the project also wants to change the narratives and the images about immigration and sinking regions and notice the diversity of those territories. In fact, many of these projects and people we have contact with would highlight is not to make a distinction between migrants and locals, but working together and living together as a way of inclusion and fighting stigmatization. So that's it. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you very much, Carmen. I think it's a super innovative and impactful project, so congratulations for your work. I guess there are many challenges, as you said, but I think it's very fruitful. So thank you very much for sharing. Let me introduce you now to Elena from Sindicato de Manteros. It's a group of street vendors that came together to fight for the rights of the vendors in the streets. And after that, they created their own brand of clothes, which I love. And they started an employment program to regulate the situation of these vendors. So, Elena, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Julia. I have to say my English is not so good, and I need the patience of all the people here now. Thank you for having us. And I try to, okay. Okay.
We can see it.
Perfect. Okay. Well, we are the Popular Association of Street Vendors in Barcelona, and we prefer the people call us Sindicato Mantero, because when I start our association, we try to have a structure, horizontal, and this is the reason we prefer Sindicato Mantero for our name. But legally, is a popular association of street vendors of Barcelona. And today we can talk. I try to make a small introduction, talk about our history, our objective, the activities we do now, and our future. Okay. And then I say that we are a popular association of the street vendors of Barcelona, Sindicato Mantero. We are a non-profit association of migrant workers. We are almost or more than 200 members, mainly from Senegal. We were born a group of to protect our people for the police violence and the criminalization of our activities. And we have a commercial brand registered for our clothing line Top Manta. Recently, we start the operation of our cooperative, and our mainly objective is generate and create new jobs for the members of our association. Okay, we have this number, but it's not official. We think are around 300 street vendors permanently from Africa, mainly in Senegal, here in Barcelona. The Popular Association born in 2015, sorry. And the main objective was provide support. The reason, and in the first time, we make this group, or we make the association, because we need to fight against the racism, institutional racism, sorry, and the complicated situation in the street for us. And in this way, we answer all the situation and try to solve our problems. After that, we realized that the government say they criminalize our activities because we sell imitation product, and this is the reason. In June 2017, we create our brand for Top Manta brand, but in this way, we try to create opportunities, job opportunities to our members and our colleagues. Okay, and we did a training in a partnership, the organization. The name is Playground Do, here in Barcelona. They provide us skills and a training for designs. And for April 2018, we was presented our fashion show in our collection, and was very important for us, because this is the first time we have to the people sorry, the people was see our capacities, our how many things we can do this. And at the end of 2019, we start our shop in El Raval, and start to develop our online shop. The last year, during of the coronavirus pandemic, we manufacture and deliver free to the hospital and geriatric and residents and other institutions 40,000 face masks and other sanitary material for help the sanitary network here in Barcelona and around the Barcelona, for the protection of sanitary personnel, and this initiative can show to our capabilities to improve and make our city better, no? And the last year, we start the campaign Hashtag Regularización Ya, for show the problems of the migrants have here in Barcelona to find the documents and the residence and work permission for them. Okay, our objective in generally is create a job position. We try to do it, we all the time try to think about how can generate a new job position to not only for our colleagues, it's all the migrants, because we and at the first time we start only of our members, our collective, but right now for us it's very important all the migrants here in Barcelona and Catalonia in general. Of course, continue with our cooperative. We right now have two big projects. I don't I can't speak about it because very soon in the next month you can please try to check out your social networks and maybe you're surprised about our project, no? Okay, for us is very important to generate a space to with the authorities here we need to resolve our political issues. For us is very important the laws, work in the direction of the laws, because for our stability, our life here in Barcelona is through to these political issues. Okay. And it's not only for our brand. We all the time to think about the generate or create more lines, more clothing for everybody. Right now, we try to work with scientific people, develop techniques for ecologic textiles, and work in this way, because it's not for us. It's not only the people. It's important for us to the environment and the preservative the environment. And of course, continue work to the regularization ya for our campaign, because it's so important change the laws and support the regularization. Okay, our activities right now have 24 young migrants for Senegal in a trading, in tailoring and pattern making training. We are so proud of them, because it's not only then not only learn about tailoring, is learn the language too. Right now, we have a program here in our shop, in our workshop, sewing workshop. We have two persons. They recently have the residence because our position jobs in our workshop. Of course, we work in our clothing line. We work we have a sewing service too, and printer too. also, we have a food service because the Senegal food is very is very good, and very soon we try to open our cafeteria. I don't know how can I say a little restaurant in a space here in Barcelona. All the people are invited to our space, and we have our physical shop, and we hope in this year we can open another physical shop in another part of Barcelona, and we work in our online shop, of course. Okay. Our values, no? Sorry. For the migrants, okay? Creation of employment, of course. This is more important for us is this. Social market, innovation, solidarity, and training. Building bridges, for all the migrants, inclusion, protection, recognition, sorry. Sustainable development, yes, because for us, I say that it's important to be careful with the environment. Human rights it's so important to fight to the racism and the right to work and migrate. And our future, of course, is continuing looking for the collective solution to problem faces by more than 300 street vendors that live in Barcelona. Continue with the regularization of the administrative situation of the street vendors that live here in Barcelona. To continue raising awareness to the population about our problems, eliminate the racism, and where to modify the current legislation. And of course, demonstrate all the time our capacities and go to the schools and make a program against to the racism and to the institutions, to the universities, all the space the people want to hear us about it. And of course, continue with our commercial brand. It's very important for us, and expand our sewing workshop. We hope and the next month we start in another place more big than we have right now, and improve our capacity, and expand the store. I say that in another place of Barcelona, and for 2022 we hope make or do the new jobs for 50 street vendors. And it's important to us say that we already start agricultural cooperative projects in Senegal. We are so proud of this, and we hope continue with this project. And it's not only for Senegal. We hope for the future with all Africa and Latin America too. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Sorry if I interrupt you. My compliment for your presentation. Just a question. In which areas of Senegal are you working now specifically?
Okay, we're working in Panal. This is a small village, very small village in the center of Senegal.
What region? You know the region? No.
No, I don't remember. Sorry.
Because as Focus Europe, we had a project, and also with another association, a project in Louga, a healthcare project.
Okay, no, this is a farmer for chicken
Okay,
farmer.
okay, yeah. So it's a different
Yes,
area,
yes.
but just to know.
Yeah, this is the family town of our member Lamin Sarr.
Okay.
He is the founders of the del sindicato, and we start to work in this project the last year, the end of the last year, and we are so proud and so happy because it's the beginning of many projects we have to, or we want, to do.
My compliment. And then later in the general discussion, maybe I can share also some link to the European funds that can be interesting also for your organization, all of you, and so all of us.
Thank you.
Sorry if I interrupt you.
Thank you
Okay,
very much,
thank you.
Elena. I think your example is a great example about how the power of the people joining together to fight for the rights and to fight for solutions, right? I love the slogan that you have, illegal people, legal clothes.
Yes,
It
yes,
shows
yes.
the nonsense of the law, right? And you are giving an answer to this, no? You are regulating people, you found a solution. So congratulations for this great project. My compliments also, and the best wishes for you. Now I'm going to introduce to Dolores from Dragones de Lavapiés Dragons. It's an organization with the mission to promote, based on sport and competition, bonds of solidarity, fostering dialogue between people of very different cultures. Dolores, the floor is yours.
Hello, good morning. Thank you for having us. I'm very happy to be here with you because I feel that we share many things, even many projects we could share. I am going to try to share my presentation. Here it is. I thought it was going to be more difficult, but I think that I'm going to try to, oh, sorry, I was not, okay, I'm going to present here. Well, we are living in a very special place. We are living in Lavapiés. Lavapiés is a neighborhood in the center of Madrid. And here we have this phenomenon of super diversity. We are not living with people from one place or two places or three places. In our teams, in our football club teams, we started playing with 80 people, 80 kids, and they were coming from 25 different countries. Now we are playing with 300 people, 250 kids, plus some women and men, and they are coming from 51 different countries. 51 different countries, but also the 5 continents. We have people playing football from Australia, from Argentina, from Brazil, from Senegal, of course, from every place in the world, almost. And also, we think that this is a strength not only for ourselves, but also ourselves as a team, as a football club team, but also as a community. We think that this is our value, and we are very aware of that. That's why I choose this first picture here. You can see some people looking at an exhibition. We are aware of our diversity. That's why we show it. That's why we are proud of it, and we want to be seen as what we are. That it's a special, not so special now nowadays. In Spain is changing a lot, and there are many villages with many diverse people. But here in Lavapiés, we have this also intersectionality. We have people from very different places, but also that are attracted by culture because we are in the city center. we have people coming here just to be near of the museums, just to be near of the theaters, and that makes a very, very special mix of people. That makes us, well, I think that especially we've created not only our generation, but also past generations, because here in Lavapiés, we were always a place of welcoming people from rural areas that would come to the city, would stay in the corralas, this kind of building that is like a big building with a patio in the middle and with very small houses around. These very small houses make that people cannot be inside all the time. They have to be outside. They have to share a lot of things because they couldn't live all the time in this small housing. So we have this. We think that we have this special feature that we can be welcoming, and we also think that in diversity lies creativity and change, and this is a place in the city. It used to be a former building, and we decided that it could be a football pitch. So we involved all our coaches. You can see in the picture, I don't know which, it's in the corner upside. You can see some people putting putting a goal. These people are our coaches coming from Senegal, coming from Ecuador, and they are putting this because we asked the city council if we could use this empty space in the middle of the city as a pitch. It is it is one of our biggest achievements, because this is a place that you can build on. So this is very expensive. It's in the middle of Madrid. It's really a very, very a real a lot of people want to live there and would pay a lot of money. So we had to convince everyone that this place was worth for sport. And we started playing there for 2 years without having light, without having anything in the floor. I mean, it was with a lot of mud in the winter, and at 6 o'clock it was almost without light. So it was difficult, but we did it. We had some help from mainly from City Council, but also from Atlético de Madrid and Foundation. They put the turf, and at least we had a different place. And for our surprise, and that's the story that I want to share, one of the 3 stories that I want to share, is that when we had this place, the women from Morocco, women who had come the previous 5 years to the matches with their kids, they were just going with us, taking the kids to cheer, as all the mothers would do. They would just come in to say, you are doing great job, doing a great job. So these women decided to say, okay, we are going to play ourselves. We are going to be the players. We are going to be in the middle of this field, and we are going to play soccer. We are going to play football as well. And that was a big change. That was something that we always wanted, that girls played with us. We always had wanted that. We, at the beginning, 7 years ago, we had 4 girls playing with us, 4 and 80 kids. So it was a big difference. And also we have to say that they were our kids, our girls, that we would say, you have to play football because we cannot manage to create another activity for you. So you have to play football with us. But when the women from Morocco said, we are going to play football. Then other women said, okay, we are going to play football too. And all these mothers started a team. They started to train, and it was not just for a tournament like this one in the picture. You can say all the husbands that are in the line just watching, and you see that the power is in the ball. And you can see also that we have a coach there now. Even our main technical coach is a woman, our director, our coordinator, and everything's changed. The kids that are 4 or 5 years old that are coming to play with us in Dragones, they are more, we have more girls than boys at this age. So things are changing in society, of course, but we think that we also helped to change things by providing a safe space in the middle of the city, because this place, as you see, is surrounded by buildings, but it has also some privacy, and it's different from places where we used to play in the park, that it's more a masculine place. Of course, when we play football, what we want to share is happiness and celebration, and of course also community, this sense of belonging, that this special place that we change it. It's if you can see if you can see at the background of this picture, you can see a theater, and this mix of being in the middle of the city and having access to culture and sport is interesting, because for us, one of the things that we want to download to change is the difficulty for many migrant people to access to both things, to sport and to culture. So we created a tournament around the 17 global goals. We created this in our neighborhood, but then we took this tournament to other places. We took it to Africa, because we have this, well, the story about this is the story about the change, the change in the space. This is how it used to be, how we used to play with solar lamps, but it is the public space change. But there's also a big change in people, in the people that is taking part in Dragones. I'm not going to show you the video, but he is one of our first coaches, and now he's part of our board in Dragones. His name is Babu Jallo, and he is from Senegal, and he also used to be a mantero, a street seller. When we met him, he was he was playing football in the same park that we were playing football too, and he was especially good as a coordinator, giving opportunities to everyone to play, because when you are playing in a park, the strongest are the ones who are saying, okay, we are playing, this is our space, kids, you are too small to play. But he was giving chances to kids, so he was good with football, and we decided to invite him to be on our coach training staff. And it was incredible, because the first 2 years he did a great job. He well, this is not our main objective, but it is true that we won 2 cups, and that was very important for the kids, and it was we were very happy. Then but during this time he had no papers. He could not do anything but to sell in the streets and to make improvements in his formation, in his studies. And he was always so happy, and so he was always had a hope and a special light, and we were happy to have him with us. But he wouldn't speak too much Spanish, and he was almost for 10 years in Spain, and he couldn't have any paper. It was a terrible situation, a terrible situation, but he wouldn't be complaining, never. So when he had his papers, 2 years after being with us, he came back to Senegal, to his village, Kerbabunditi, and he saw that the kids in his country were without school and without a football club. And he said, we have not risked our lives for anything. We have not risked our lives not to change anything. And he decided to create a football club and a school. And they are the Dragones of Kerbabunditi. And he's the president of Manteros. So we have some connections with Elena. And well, of course, we think that football can change many things. We think that we can help to reach these 17 goals. Maybe it's a very big issue. It's a too big issue, but we did it because we were very impacted with what happened to Babu and to a kid from Senegal who was 9 years old when we played our first match in a competition that it was a city competition. I mean, it was a small competition, not even a very big league. It was a small competition, and we had in our first match we have racist insults, and we had violence, and it was so incredible, so shocking for us to have this, that we decided that we have to change many things. First of all, of course, was racism. We started collaborating with, at the beginning, we collaborated with Movement Against Racism, Movimiento contra la Intolerancia in Spain. But we were doing a week, once a week, we were broadcasting a radio show. But then we decided to take part of Football Against Racism Europe. That's a big organization that fights against racism and against discrimination, also homophobia and any kind of discrimination against women. And so we started collaborating with them, and finally we are part of this organization. Every year we work in a project. Last year we won a grant that it's called Black Lives Matter, and we started a project that's called Black Lives Matter in Sport. We researched about sport people, Black sport people that changed lives, and we invited many people from different from different associations, and we shared videos, we shared workshops with the kids, and it strengthens a lot our vision of we being part of the change that we want to showcase also. We think that diversity is not only important, but also is key for survival. We have these 17 global goals. We think that 11, having sustainable communities and cities, is very important. And for that, the very key is to strengthen the bonds, to strengthen the knowledge about our communities. And what we've found is amazing, especially during this lockdown, because we had this kind of test of if what we were saying was true. It was a terrible test. We wouldn't have never wanted to have lived that, but we discovered that being in such extreme situation, our club was able to canalize all the help, many of the food help that our neighbors needed. We started delivering food. At the beginning, we started just creating cards for our people, our players, to be able to buy in a halal butchery, a fishmonger, and a fruit shop. And we were making these cards. At the beginning, we had some a little amount of money, but then we didn't have any money left. But a lot of donations came, and we could not only help our people, but many other people. And then food came also in donations in kilos, and we were the place to deliver food in the city center of Madrid for many weeks. And then other people joined, people from theaters, people from journalism, and we were able to deliver more than 60,000 euros in food, plus all the kilos of food that came from organizations and from markets. So it was an amazing test, a terrible test that made us very exhausted, and also that I have to say, with a little, to end all this exposition, that with a little bit of bitterness, I have to say that in some, I think that politicians in our city thought that we were doing that in a with a political intention, and it was not true. It was just this 11 aim, that 11 global goal. It is that what pushed us to do everything, and we think that it's key to survive, to be able to thrive in this very complex world in which we live. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dolores.
Thank you. Congrats on your work. And just if I can always interrupt before the next speakers, please, if you would you like to share the video that you produced, I will be really happy to share it on our social channel, also on our website. Maybe you can put the link to the video in the chat, and then I can use it. Thank you very much, and congrats again on your work.
Thank you very much. I see there is not much movement in the chat, so please go start making questions, because we are going to listen now the last panelist. Is Rocío from Rioja Coge, who will explain the program and two concrete projects that are Radio Acoge and Paseos Saludables. Rocío, whenever you want.
Thank you, Julia. Hi, everyone. Well, I work in, I'm going to share a presentation, but I can, the button is not able yet. I don't know.
Daniel, if you can put her as
Yeah, now, yeah, I'm
Okay.
passing the privilege.
Awesome, thank you. Okay. I think now you see it, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I translated the name of the organization as Rioja Embraces. We are an organization that works in a little, well, we work with migrant people, but also with autochthonous or local. As the other people said before, the relation between both things, it's really close, no? So all the things that we do it to promote good relationships between immigrants and autochthonous, So we work with everyone, okay? Sorry if my English is a little bit rusty. Maybe the political correct words or phrases are not like the ones, but okay. So we have 9 different areas of intervention. Okay. One of them, like 3 of them are promoted by volunteers, and the other ones, we have like technicians that work on them. We have guidance and support for social integration. That is one of the first ones. We have Spanish lessons, support for people in prison, awareness, volunteering. We have a program of international protection of refugees and asylum seekers, non-discrimination, information treatment in media, and the last area, community intervention, that is the one in which I work with another 2 amazing people that my teammates, we will say like that, no? So we are there in the north of Spain. It's the little, the most smallest community, no, in the country. We have a lot of wine, but the population, as you see, it's really small, and we mostly work in the capital area, where 40% of the people were born outside La Rioja, and 20% of the people are foreign, as me, that I live here, but I'm from Venezuela too, Elena. And we specifically in the urban area, we work in that little into neighborhoods, no, that had a lot of that diversity in the inhabitants too. So this is more or less what we do. We also work in the rural area, mostly with training sessions of our perspective of work or the methods that we used. 2 years ago, we worked in, for example, with a project with more power, we will say. This little town had 4,000 inhabitants, and the 40% of the people that lived there was from like 10 different countries. So with a high diversity too, as the other colleagues that talked before said. Also, like the type of work that we do, we do it since 10 years ago. And in the beginning, this project was in 14 territories in Spain with high diversity. And the main objective of the project is to promote spaces of relationship with public administration. So we work also with politicians and people that, you know, are chose professionals, and the people that live, the citizens, not citizens in the legal term, no? But all the people that live in a territory. So we work with these 3 different type of roles, we will say, no? I'm sorry, it's like, okay. The main idea will be that we all have, we work on minimums, no? We all have like things that we care are the same things, no? And also we have like a minimum that that can like a minimum that let us work together, no? The other thing that we talk a lot in all these meetings, but the main thing that we do is to work together, because we think that the way that you trust and you really know the people that is right to you is doing things together. So one of the things that we do together, that was the one that I want to talk to you about, it's Hello Neighborhood, or Hola Barrio, that is a radio, a community radio that we pulled together 1 year ago in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic. The thing is that in these two neighborhoods, there were like other attempts to do something similar, and the diagnosis and the feeling of the people is that we have a huge technological and digital bridge, and in this period of the pandemic, this bridge was bigger, and we need a thing to do together, but being in with physical distance, no? So the radio was like a good response to this need that we all shared, and we started with two little training sessions in the summer. This summer, the last summer, I think here was different summer because the people didn't went outside the city, so we were all the people wanted to do things and like with safety measures and all that. So we pull out this radio. 20 organizations works not work, but we came together in the radio. And also there is people that don't belong to organizations or to group or to collective, that like individual people. And we each month we have these meetings in the board in which we decide what to do, where to do it, and all that things. And in this year, we have made 4 sessions of live broadcasting that we do in the open area, mostly. The one that we do in December was really cold, but it was nice. And that's more or less what we do. I wanted to put like a little piece of the jingle that we have in the radio, but I don't know if it's going to be possible. Wait, I'm sorry.
We can try, but WebEx doesn't like videos or music. But anyway, in case you can share the file with us, and then we can delete and share. Thank you.
Nice. Thank you, Daniele. So this is one of the things that we do. And the other thing that I wanted to share with you was this one, the healthy walks. And this is another thing that we do from the beginning. The main, the thing is that these walks were led every month, but by a different organization, and always started in the healthcare center of the neighborhood. And later on, one other walk started this one is in the morning, and another one started in the evening, and not started in the healthcare center, but in the neighborhoods association, no? So when the pandemic started, these healthy walks stopped because you couldn't be in the streets, you couldn't be with another people and all that, no? But the thing is that in these walks, you do exercise, but you also talk and you share with people and you like do things together, no? So 3 weeks ago, this healthy walks started again because we talk a lot about loneliness. A lot of people are feeling lonely in this period of time, and the healthy walks were a way to respond to this relation need and to respond to it in a safety way, you know, because at the end you do it in the open air and you can like do little groups, bubble groups that we said. So we start doing again, and it was really good. So that's a good sign for us too, know that you do something that stops because of a pandemic, and then you restart it because the people say, hey, we need it again, no? So this is like the type of things that we do. That's all that I bring to share. Thank you very much, and I will stop sharing this.
Thank you very much, Rocío. I like a lot the project. Congratulations. So I don't know, Daniel, I have some questions, but if you want to start.
First of all, I share with you. I don't know if you already had the chance to see it. There is, I share a link at the Citizen Equality Rights and Value Programs, that values program, that it will be the European Commission program that replace Euro for City replace the Euro for Citizen program, in framework of which this project was financed. And this is really an interesting program because it's quite big, and inside you can find call for proposal where your organization, I think, they are fully eligible, and then also they can find opportunity to get funds. And moreover, I have two general questions to all the panelists attending today, and currently with the E4Eu's objectives that aims to tell, to underline, to try to better understand the real and concrete aspect of the commitment in the field of solidarity, refugees, integration, but also aims to try to understand the perception, not in a scientific or statistical way, even if we organize also surveys at the beginning of the project, but also from your perspective. So my question to all the panelists is how is, in your feeling, the general perception of the citizen towards your activities? The local citizens, they support you, they encourage you, they help you. And then the second, I know this is the and the second question is how we can try to improve the citizens' commitment, the citizens' engagement in this field. Of course, this is a project, is an example of how we can try to highlight this aspect, but maybe, you know, from the direct contact with the people, another way, and how we can encourage volunteers, how we can engage also the, how we can raise the attention and raise awareness on these thematics. So this is a general flow, two general flow for all of you, and then after that, if we don't have any other question, I think that we can close. The floor is yours. You can intervene as you want.
I would like to start, if you let me.
Please go. Please go.
Because what we think that is powerful about our place, our neighborhood, our project, is that host society and refugees and immigrants and are the same. I mean, we are the same. Everyone is coming to this place from elsewhere. Everyone. Almost no one is coming from the same Madrid. Many very few people lived. His parents, his grandparents lived here. So it is difficult. Of course, it is not true that everyone has the same power or the same. But what I think that we have to, or what our strength lies is in this sense that though we are from different places, so we have different situations, we can be part of something at the same time. So, for instance, we are part of the first person who spoke in these sessions was from Anti-Rumors project. We are taking part of Anti-Rumors project in Madrid, and what we discovered is that it's a little bit difficult to speak about rumors when almost anyone in this place is creating projects about mixing, about respecting diversity, about it is difficult, but nevertheless, I have to say that there is a very small population in our neighborhood. It is small, but they have a big impact in social media that is creating these rumors. Sometimes they are speaking about all the time. They are speaking about drugs, about violence, about thieves, and they are saying that immigrant people is doing that. They say Bulgarian band doing that in this street, and you cannot say if this is true or if this is not true. You cannot say if they have any proof of what they are saying, but what we know is that they deliver this message, and that some people listen to them. I mean, some politicians listen to them, and I think that it's not what we are feeling that happens with our neighbors. For instance, we have well. What I want to say is that there is a big alarm about what happens in our neighborhood. For instance, we have a queue for food delivering near in my street. A lot of people is coming to ask for food nowadays, and this is different what happened during the lockdown. But this queue sometimes has some fights. Sometimes I live there, and some once every 2 weeks or even longer. But a lot of police is coming, and then these people start saying many problems in the food queue. They are making a thing that is happening once, making it bigger, much bigger, and this is happening. But what we feel about our project, what we feel about Dragones and our football club, is that the people in the community understands what's happening and feel it like that it belongs to them. So it's not an issue. And what we feel also in the bigger community in Spain is that people like to see that this example, this vision is positive. They like to see, even when sometimes they are not going to be so kind. So sometimes they smile at us, but maybe they wouldn't smile at other 200, 300, 500 people coming to their, invited to their home. I don't know. This is my feelings. It's a little a big mix of things, but what I wanted to say is that what we represent here is positive, and people in Lavapiés and in Madrid, I think that they feel it is positive, but and also in Spain, but that there is also some small people that may grow because the big high altavoces, I mean the big support of media that they have.
Anyone wants to answer the questions that Daniel sent?
Okay. Well, for us, I think before, sorry, the campaign of the manufacturer and delivered the mask to the sanitary system, I think it was 50-50, no? 50 people here like to us very much, and 50 doesn't like you, so doesn't like us as so much, no? But it's okay, because we understand that, for our understanding, the racism is a problem if for the person feel, is not our problem. And we all day try to demonstrate and show we are a worker and a good person, and we don't want a free stuff. We want to work and fight and go to the street and put the best face for all the people, all the community, and we do every day, and we are very proud about it. This is my answer.
Well, from my part, is kind of different because, well, the context we work in is very different than a city. So in the rural areas, you can find both perception, I think, but we work with the communities and we work with the hosting, and we don't send or we don't make this connection in localities that are against or they have a common perception against migration. But what we have found is that these small villages, they are fighting for resources, and it is very sad to lose population every day, and it's very sad to have like 40 people living in the village and well, going down. So they are normally happy to see new things.